Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Respected Chair and esteemed delegates from across the globe, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to congratulate the organizers of this conference, ISAM, and its President, respected Rijai Khawtan, for having organized the event under the title of Peace, Justice and Mercy for a New World at the 50th foundation year of Malik Mutissm Party, which was established by late Dr. Najmuddin. May Allah shower His choicest blessing on him and place him in the highest paradise. Today, we live in a world where the parameters of justice change depending on geographical location, religion, and race of the concerned parties. In this environment, the quest and the ambition of the organizers of this conference to present before the world a new concept of peace and justice originating from the noble teachings of Islam are not only praiseworthy but also a ray of hope and a breeze of fresh air in today's suffocating world. In fact, it is not a new concept but a mere reminder of the benefits society would reap if modeled on Islamic lines. In a way, the world benefited from the state of Medina, which the Holy Prophet ﷺ had established. Today, I would be speaking on the topic peaceful coexistence in plural societies, challenges and strategies. Today, we live in a world where Muslims and peaceful coexistence is considered to be the most impractical and unrealistic concept. And perception has been created that the Muslim majority societies are intolerant, backward, and extremist in their understanding of Islam. At the same time, the countries where Muslims live in minority, a false narrative has been created that Muslims are violent, unfriendly, and do not respect the law of the land. In both cases, they accuse Islam and teachings of Islam for the backwardness of Muslims as well as their so-called extremist ideas. We should ask a question: why does the religion of peace, mercy, and justice has been made a symbol of terrorism, backwardness, and injustice? Let us talk about the opportunities that the world has offered to Muslims, and we failed to use these opportunities. It is a fact that plural societies are the most fertile places to spread and propagate the message of Islam. The plural societies are our opportunity, where Muslims assessed could have represented the true picture of Islam and the correct picture of our religion. We could have proved that a peaceful and harmonious coexistence by becoming true Muslim is possible. This world has inspired the non-Muslim brethren to study and accept the teachings of Islam, and these societies would become the site where the world would come to see the teachings of Islam and coexisting with non-Muslim peacefully. In today's globalized world, with the limits of travel time, immigration of jobs, translational trade, cyber world of 24/7, connectivity creates a world without limits, a world without borders, and a world without restrictions. It was the responsibility of Muslims to note the change and become aware that their actions and words are not confined to any border. Whatever we do, they being seen as Muslims' words or Muslim actions by this globalized world. Unless they realize that their way of representation of Islam and the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam must address the global audience, the interconnected people, the people who are more educated, more aware, and more informed about their world. There are two main problems in that understanding of Muslims about coexistence in plural societies. One group assumes that peaceful coexistence means to lose their own ideas, identity, and culture and adopt the prevalent tradition of the society or the ideas promoted by the market and consumer culture. Second, the other group looks coexistence as a threat to their identity and culture. They stay away from interacting with their non-Muslim neighbors and people of different beliefs and ideas. They develop a narrow world of their own or a self-imposed isolation. In fact, both these tendencies are wrong and need to be changed. In both cases, Muslims have forgotten their basic duty. What was their basic duty? Their basic duties are: one, to prove that Islam is a way of life which is fit for all times and places, which can solve problems of all types of societies and all periods of time. Second, to prove by their actions that Islam means higher level of knowledge, higher level of scientific curiosity, the higher level of economic activity, and higher level of service of humanity. Third, to prove that the Muslims are not a burden. Rather, Muslims are one of the best people who can contribute in making this world better, peaceful, and prosperous. To prove that justice is possible only when Muslims play an important role in this world, because Muslims are Khair Ummah. To prove that Muslims are partners of their citizens and neighbors in their good times and bad times. They want to bring happiness to the world, to the people regardless of their identity, religion, and ethnicity. Because both Quran and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent as a benefactor of entire humanity, Rahmatan lil Alameen. This is the responsibility entrusted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us, no matter whether they are in majority or minority. Irrespective of their status in society, it is the duty of every Muslim to present the best way of life before the world, and that would be their great contribution to the society they live in. The entire life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and subsequently when the state of Medina was established and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam concluded Misakh Medina, the Medina Accord, with the surrounding Jewish and Arab tribes, in an example of Muslims' main role in the world. From the above discussion, I would like to inform you that as an Indian Muslim, we are trying to look our country as well as our neighborhood and the entire world from this perspective only. We get disappointed when we see the Muslim majority countries, leaders, governments, and their citizens have forgotten their responsibility and role as being the representative of Islam. Their relation with the world, especially with non-Muslim countries, are only for trade, security, and culture. They have no place for Islam and Islamic teachings in their diplomacy. They don't speak about Islam and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when they talk to foreign leaders. It is completely against how Prophet Muhammad used to talk with foreign delegation visiting him in Medina. India is a country of 1,300 million people, of 30 religions. This country has come to know Islam 1,000 years ago, but most of Muslim rulers were busy in war and politics. They did not spend time in introducing the teaching of Islam to the people of India. As a result,
Today there is a large number of Indians who are not aware of true teachings of Islam, the true message of Prophet Muhammad, and the beauty of Islam. Many of them now hate Islam. Just like Western politicians, they also started thinking that Islam is the religion of extremism and terrorism. We have started taking note of this situation, and we have started bridging this gap of ignorance and bias. We started translating the teaching of Islam in all Indian languages. But there is much left to do. The more we are late, the bigger the hatred and misunderstanding will become. In conclusion, I would like to suggest 3 points. Number 1, Muslim majority countries should include Islam and Islamic Dawah in their diplomacy and openly ask the world to understand Islam and remove the misunderstanding about Islam. Second, Muslims need to be active in the domain of knowledge, science and technology so that they can also contribute in making of this world and saving this world from the problems of misuse of science and technology. The Islamic idea of knowledge, science and technology has to be presented to the world powerfully with practical solution so that the world is saved from poverty, underdevelopment, illiteracy, inequality and injustice. Muslims need to fulfill their duties of being fair ummah. There should also be try to promote the true meaning of Islamic identity in such a way that the government and societies welcome to love Islamic identity. With these words, I conclude my speech. Jazakallahu khairan kaseera.